Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a message today about transition and the energy and the feeling of transition. So I was just sitting here and I recorded a video yesterday that I never finished, never posted. It's the story of my life. Too much judgment, imposter syndrome, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm sitting here, and in the video yesterday I was like, I wish it was about self-image, it was about body image issues, being sensitive about the way that you look and people judging you and either rejecting you or only accepting you because of the way that you look. It's such a catch-22. I'm sure that I should post it because I'm sitting here right now, like, and I was like, I wish that I could just come on here every single day, 9 o'clock, no matter what. 4 minutes before 9 right now, 1:01 on my recording. This is important. And just, come on, no matter what I look like, no matter what energy I'm in, just come on here and read the energy that's present, because that's the energy that I'm in. That's the collective energy that I'm sensing, that people need to hear about, that they need the message from. I wish that I could do that, because there are so many times at 9 o'clock where I'm just like looking like blah, I haven't put myself together yet, or I just got back from dropping my kids off at school, and if I don't put myself together physically, it's like I can't see myself on here. I don't want to see myself on here. So I was just have a couple of minutes and was getting a message about transition and the energy of transition that I want to talk about, and I wrote some notes on it, and I turned my video on, and I'm sitting here going, oh my god, oh gosh, just, do I really look like that? And I'm so sensitive about the way that I look. And I sat here for a little bit like, I can't do this. Nope, I'm not going to do it today. And then I look at my notes and I'm like, oh, but the stuff that was coming through was so good. And I want to talk it through, because there's more there that doesn't come out until I just channel it and open up the space and the channel for that message to come through. But I'm sitting here so sensitive about the way that I look. And that is not like searching for any kind of validation or any kind of like, oh, you look so beautiful and blah, 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 and don't worry about yourself. And I'm just being real about like what just happened. And I'm sure that it's part of the message of transition. But it's also connected with the message from yesterday that there's some kind of block. And oh my gosh, it's so funny. It has to do with this message that I did yesterday, because on it I was talking about this grieving and acceptance and accepting ourselves just as we are. Like, practice as you preach, Karen. And on here again it says transition. Transitioning from the grieving process to what's the next step? I wrote down death doula, helping with the death of the former self. There's an aspect of us that is dying off. And so, okay, so that's what I realized when I was sitting here, is there is a group of us who are going through a transition of basing our identity off of how other people view us and how they see us, or how they see us that they want us to be, and the reality of who we actually are. And so we're transitioning okay, so there's a message in that for me too. I'm gonna weed through that in a second. Transitioning from giving a shit what other people think and just being. So I can feel the energy of judgment, people looking at me and judging me for the way I look, compared to how I look other days on these videos, where I'm very put together and physically presenting in a different kind of way. Transitioning from that person who would hold herself back because she can sense and feel that judgment into the person who says, get over yourself. Is that the most important thing to you? Because if it is, this message isn't for you. This message is for other people, and that's okay. You came on here to see a certain thing about me, and sometimes the only way for you to be able to receive messages from me is when I physically look a certain way to you. And that's okay. That's okay. It's how you receive. And, you're very, maybe physically oriented in that way, and that's okay. It just means that this message isn't for you. But this message is for someone who is looking at me like, what do you mean? I think you look great. I love you in glasses. And really all I feel is I really want to hear about this transition, because as soon as you said that, I tuned right in, and I heard the same thing on another channel today or something like that. So, it's transitioning from attaching to trying to please those people and give everybody what they want, make everybody happy, and present myself in a way that's not authentic to that moment. Not that when I put myself together or put my makeup on or shower and do my hair and stuff before I come on here, not that that's not an authentic version of me. It is. It's just I'm feeling different in the moment, or just a different presentation of me. But this presentation is just as important too. This is a massive time of transition for a lot of people, and you can feel the energy of that. I can feel the energy of that. It's very typical this time of year too, because it's the new year and everybody is resolving to make changes and to have this year be what they want it to be, and they want it to be a little bit different than it was last year, and so they're recognizing changes that need to be made. And they resolve to stick to those. And so you've got that initial momentum and push of inspiration and motivation. But it is unsustainable for a lot of people, because that requires a death of the kind of person that you were, and the reasons for why you used to do things the way that you did things, and it ended up manifesting in a way that was uncomfortable for you and that you don't like anymore. In order to not keep creating those situations that you created from some sort of vibration inside of you, you have to shift something inside of you. But there's an attachment there and a reason why we created those situations. Something that makes you uncomfortable. You created that from an old version of you that said, I'm not good enough. I'm going to be judged. I have to look a certain way. It's my fault. And so you create situations that, to you, look like your fault. Eventually you come to a point of awareness where it's like, that's not me though. That's not me. That's not me. That is the super sensitive. That is the insecure me that was so busy doing things in order to fit in and to people please, just to get scraps of attention or breadcrumbs or whatever it was, like a fix of dopamine or something. It's like that version of you is dying off and has to, in order to transition into this new version of you that is able to keep those changes that you want to make, those resolutions, the resolve that you have, the new goals that you have, to make those sustainable past this initial, it's almost like a fixed time period too. Like these desires, these goals, we're tuning into this collective energy of motivation. But once that starts to die out, you have to dig down deep into the well of desire and motivation that is not fueled by other people's energy, because some of those are going to die off. They can't sustain those. And so you can't ride the high with everybody else. You have to come down into this place of God, I just keep hearing the word resolve, but obviously with resolutions, but fortitude, deep desire. But it's like, what is it that keeps you going? Keeps you choosing this new way? Because it will become a lot harder to sustain those changes. They're just showing me an example right now. Like, there is a person that I'm connected to that is going through a big transition, big change, and very shut down, really hard to connect with, understandably so. But there's something in me that keeps trying to connect, keeps trying to get them to open up, to, like, I can see how it would be healthy for them to process. I've been through the whole thing before, too, the situation that they're going through. I've been through it before. And so I resonate with that, and there's a part of me that is just like, so how did it go yesterday? And instead of waiting for them to say, I need you, or can you talk, or something like that, it's always me saying, are you okay? What's happening? Do you want to talk? Which is okay also. Like, that's a good friend. But there's this part of me that's doing it in order to get some kind of validation or get some kind of scraps or a little bit of attention. And I recognize that. For them to see me in a way that's just like, I value you. I don't know that they're capable of valuing me right now in the state that they're in. There's this part of me that, and I think that it's related to a limiting belief in me that says, I don't know, I'm not enough, or I can't do enough, or I don't have anything to offer. And so I'm like offering, and I'm showing you what I have to offer, but they're not biting or something like that. And so this morning I was like wanting so bad to check in with them, and like they're on my mind, and I'm just like, so I have so much empathy for the situation because I went through it, that I'm just like, I want to check in. And I realized that if that energy, that energy that I'm tuned into is not just theirs, it's other people. It's someone on here. It's maybe one of you. It's probably a collective of people who are going through a really tough transition right now. And so if they're not responding to that help that I'm offering or the healing energy that I provide, I don't want to push. I don't want to push that. I can recognize that it's coming from my own need for having that land somewhere. The medicine that I have, I want it to land somewhere because it needs to. It needs to go to those places. That's the purpose of having medicine, energy medicine. So this morning I realized, I was like, oh, I keep wanting to check in with them, but maybe I'll just check in over here. So how was it yesterday? How did it go yesterday? That, if you're starting a whole new routine for yourself, how did it go yesterday? Let's just do it one day at a time so that you have this goal for yourself. And it's really hard to stick with this goal once that initial wave of motivation starts to die out. And then it becomes work. And then it becomes hard to keep that change in place, especially when other people are involved in that change. Like, other people are affected by you making changes in your life. And so sometimes they fight against that, and it makes it harder for you to hold on to your resolve that just hang in there, just hang in there. Just hang in there. I know that we're going to start to see the effect of this soon enough. We haven't just yet, but we're going to start to see the effect of that. So whatever change it is that you're trying to make right now, you've just started it, you've created these goals, how's it going so far? Let's look for signs of movement. Sometimes in the beginning, when you're changing a goal, when you're changing up a routine, there is this lack or this, I just see this recession, this receding energy as things get removed, and the difficulty of it until it then propels its way forward. So it may be that when you're making a change, when it comes to, I don't know, I'm just seeing when it comes to money, it's like at first you're going to see the money go down just a little bit before it revs up and starts taking off. So whatever changes you're making when it comes to, if you were to make an investment, you're going to have a negative balance in your account, or, your account's going to go down because you took that money and you invested it over here. And so until you see the rate of return for that, there is going to be this, just don't focus on that part of it, okay? And sometimes, if you're making a change in your routine, and like I said, it affects other people, they're going to feel the effect of that. They're going to feel slow down, or the loss of it, or they're going to feel the difficulty of the change because it was your choice and not necessarily their choice. And so you're going to feel the resistance there before they get used to it, and it's just like, oh, okay, now that we've done this a couple of times, it feels a little bit better, it doesn't feel quite so hard, and they start to get into alignment with it too. So you're going to feel that initial resistance before it's allowed to flow forward, okay? When you change a child's schedule, it's really hard for them to adapt to what it was that they were used to it, and it felt safer that way, whether it was good for them or not. They felt safe in it because they knew it, because it was sure. And so when you start to change that schedule, there will be some initial growing pains. Okay? So I just want to ask you, how was it yesterday? Or how was it yesterday? Just at least let's be proud of the fact that you did it yesterday, that you showed up. And might feel really hard, but you did it. Okay, you did it. Let's I want to pat you on the back. So when this happens, when times of transition happen, whether you're making specific goal changes or not, the whole world is. The collective of people is just New Year's goals and resolutions and blah, blah, blah. So the energy is super present. And so you can feel it. You're tuned into that. And sometimes the fear of making big changes, or making even the smallest changes, the fear of is it the right decision? Is it going to work out? It's like the future is unknown. The effect of these changes, the future is unknown. And so fear gets stirred up from transitions from the past, especially transitions that you had no choice over. So when you feel the energy of this collective transitioning, it's going to stir up in you the memory of transitions from the past, specifically breakups, your parents' divorce, how that affected you as a child. For some of you, it's your parent got fired from a job, and so this initial saving and this initial, putting money away and really holding on tight to what we have right now because the future is unknown, that time period, that's being stirred up right now. And so the fear that was in the collective then of this unchosen transition is being stirred up. So there's an aspect of you right now that's trying to make a change from the past. So you're intentionally doing it, but the inner child in you who's saying, I didn't choose that. I didn't choose to move or to try something new over there. You're choosing that. You're scaring them. And so they're you remember what happened when dad tried to do that in the past? You're yeah, but I'm not dad. But it's stirring up their memories of very tough transitions where they weren't guided in quite the right way. That's what we need to face. That's what we need to face. Hold our inner children and just say, it's okay. It's okay. I have considered the options. This is going to be best for us. It's a little bit hard when we're changing our diet right now. And it's not all of this comfort food and stuff like that. And it feels uncomfortable. And it's like you're hungry all the time. It's not quite satisfying. Just trust me. We're developing a certain level of trust in ourselves that is going to take some time to see the effect of. Okay, so I'm here to support you. Your energy is here to support me too in whatever changes that I'm making and whatever transition it is that I'm going through. And so we're like each other's cheerleaders right now. So I'm just checking in with you. And please, if this resonates with you, leave a message in the comments. Just say, man, it was so freaking hard yesterday. Like, is this really going to be the best decision for me? I just have no idea. Just be real. Just put it out there and let us hold the space for you. Okay? Put that down in the comments. If you want to work with me individually, all of my information is down in the box below. I don't have my availability opened up right now. It's like I don't have anything available. If you want to book an appointment with me, just email me and we'll set something up individually like that. I don't know why they're having me do that. I literally went on to update my availability to open up days where I could do sessions, and there's a lot of resistance there. A lot. It was just like, I don't know if it's like there are certain types of people that I'm supposed to do readings for, or I'm supposed to tune into. Maybe it's only the transitional people that are doing it right now. I'm not sure. I just do what I'm told. So anyway, if you want to get a reading from me or to work with me on this aspect of it, try to make sense of it for you, and what your next steps are. What are your next steps? That was something that I wrote down here too, is like question mark. What are the next steps? How do we figure out the next steps? Because that's really what holds me and keeps me frozen in place, is the lack of clarity on which way to go with whatever direction I know I'm supposed to go in a different direction. Which one? Well, what does that look like in human reality? Right? So if you want to work with me on that, email me. Okay? 2222 on my recording. Love you guys.